What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's a Friday. It's a good day. Good day to make some horsepower. Got something a little different today. Got a 1932 Ford Coupe with a twin turbo Coyote motor. I believe it's got precision 6667s on it. But we're gonna get this thing up on the dyno, get it dialed in. It's on X85 for fuel, power glide transmission. But it's just got a base map in it right now, so we're gonna get it up on the dyno, get it strapped down, and start making some power.
In here, guys, not gonna lie, my claustrophobia is kicking in a little bit. Got a base in here, so I'm just gonna do our base pull, see where we're at. I don't know how many pounds of boost it's gonna make or anything like that, so I'm gonna just kind of roll into it, see what it does, and then I can start adjusting from there. Let's see what this thing will do.
Alright guys, first pull was 680 horsepower, 666 foot-pounds of torque. I did lift early, looks like about 6,100, but I can just see where everything is, see where my air fuel's at, see what kind of boost we were making, start making some adjustments. I am very light on timing, so we'll keep it that way till we get our fuel graph dialed in, and then we'll start throwing some timing at it, maybe a little bit of boost, see if we can crack. What are you trying to make, 1,000 horsepower today?
What's that?
What do you want to make, like 1,000 today?
12, 15, whatever.
12, 15, all right, so 2,000 horsepower, we got it. That was like the longest dyno pull I've ever done in my life. What gears is this thing?
373.
Really? Yeah, that was, whew. Let's pull up the mile an hour. I took it to almost 8,000. Look at the dyno.
183 mile an hour.
Alright guys, so the fueling is pretty dialed. They're up at 8,000. We were about 12 and a half pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and put some timing in it because it seems a little bit lower and started actually going in the pipe. So I'm going to put a couple degrees in it, we'll see what it does, and then we'll start throwing some boost at it. But this thing's going to be spicy. That was, 12 pounds, we should be able to go up like 30 on this deal, so yeah, it's going to be rowdy. Alright guys, so that was 3 degrees more timing, picked up about 44 horsepower and 29 foot-pounds, 39 foot-pounds of torque. I didn't rev it as high. It's a little bit sketchy in here.
my eyes are vibrating, everything's vibrating, and it's a lot. You know, it's a lot of mile an hour. That one we did like 165. So I'm gonna probably leave it. I might put one more degree in it and just see if it picks up a decent amount. If it does, we'll keep going with the timing. Check a plug or two, and then we'll start feeding some loose system. We do have a little bit of a dome sensor issue where it won't read less than 6 psi. So I'm gonna have to make probably 7 psi on the dome to get it to actually start working. But I did test it with more on the dome pressure, and it was doing what it's supposed to, filling and bending it. It was smooth, so we'll just keep chipping away. Alright guys, so from 764, 776, that was a degree and a half. I'm going to leave it there. It didn't pick up a whole lot. It picked up decent under the curve, but overall, I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to start upping the boost a little bit and start feeding some boost to it. So that was only 12 and a half pounds, made 776 horsepower, 694 foot-pounds. So we're going to make sure everything with the boost stuff works, and put some more boost at it, probably give it 5 pounds-ish, and see how it works. Alright guys, I can't get my head out. So that pull right there it saw 17.5 early, and then it started kind of trickling down to about 15.5 out on the top end. So we're going to put a little bit more dome to it, but that picked up 100 horsepower and 160 foot-pounds, but that has a lot to do with the converter because it's not lockup. So it's going to flash the converter earlier, which will kind of skew the torque reading a little bit. But we're going to put a little bit more boost to it, see if we can't get into that 20-pound range up top and make some real power. I imagine if it makes with that, it should make over 1,000 on this very next pull. So let's see what happens. That sounds really good. Really good. That was like 7,700. That was spicy. Alright, so I added 5 more pounds of dome on that pull. It made 1140 before I lifted, but I don't know if you can see it in the video. The car kind of shimmied, felt like a strap broke or something. So I just immediately grabbed the dyno brake before anything happened. The strap did not break. We readjusted everything, made sure everything was tight again, which I had done before that pull, but I guess something happened. But we're going to let it cool off a little bit more and then try and make another hit, see if we make 12 on that. So we're going to leave it there. That was 28 pounds. We didn't let it cool down as long as the other pull that were before that, which probably would have made a little bit more power. If we cool it down for a while, it'll probably make the 1200, but we're going to call it there. I do have an airboat that I do have to get to, so we'll move on to that next, but not too bad of power for this car. I'm going to back it off so he can street drive it. I've got it all set up for flex, so he's going to put a boost switch in it so that it'll just run around on wastegate, and then when he wants to get after it, he can just turn the boost on and or turn the switch on. It'll put it into high boost, and the flex and all that stuff, it'll put the timing right where he needs it. So came out really good, and he's happy. So we'll get onto that airboat and go make some wind. airboat came out good. It's just a cam only LS3, had a truck Norris. All right, guys, airboat came out good. That was just the LS3 with a truck Norris cam from BTR. Thing works really well. We're back at the shop, same day. We're gonna do this big block Ford on Holly. It's got a Terminator EFI system. So it's actually got like the 8 injector 4150 deal on this 572 cubic inch big block Ford. So we're getting it strapped down right now. Had to replace the wideband sensor because it's bad. So should be good now. He had came here because the car was running like crap. Well, it turns out wideband was bad. So I actually learned a bunch of bad data. So we're gonna strap it down and get it tuned up and get it back to him. So come along with it. So not a totally accurate number there because the car did shift. I thought I had it set up enough to where it wouldn't do that, but it did it anyway. So I'm gonna have to go in and adjust it just a little bit. I know where it's gonna make power at now. Clearly it's not a river, but it's pretty decent power. So we're going to play with it. I'm not 100% sure that the ignition box is controlling timing, so we're gonna have to go through our timing light on it and just double check that before we get too much further. But I'll go over the data log, make sure all our fueling was good, and then we'll make some adjustments. Just playing with timing stuff and kind of figuring out where it was. So when this car came in here, it had 36 degrees total up high, and I'm down to the highest peak power was 26. So 1 degree more than that lost power, 1 degree less than that lost power. And I had put a couple degrees in it. We went from 480-ish on that first one down to 471. So at the lower timing, he actually made 8 horsepower more. So this thing was way over time when it came in. All right, guys, final number 478, 519 foot-pounds. So this car actually, the ignition timing when we checked the static time, it was 5 degrees high. So this car had 36 degrees in the base, 5 degrees on top of that. So this thing had 41 degrees. The final timing number with the peak horsepower was 30.5 degrees. So this thing was way over time, but it's good now. So we're gonna get this thing unstrapped off the dyno and end our day off there. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay tuned